podcast. I'm your host, Nick, and today I've got three fine gentlemen with me. We'll start, yes, go clockwise. Primi, all you.
Hello, guys. It's Prim Shots here. 6'5", 245, pure athlete.
Ding.
And we got my buddy Jake. You want to go next here, buddy?
Sure, man. I'm Jake, aka Feezy. I stand at a good 6'1", 265. It's clean.
I got it.
B, up to you, buddy.
It's Brant here, the cousin, out here to smooth 6'3", 245.
Oh, that's clean. That's
That's
clean.
good. Like that.
All right.
Yes, we'll follow it up with I don't know what's our favorite sports team for each of us, and
Let's
so
go through it.
figure
We'll go MLB, NBA, and since we're throwing CDL, we'll go CDL in there.
Well, maybe NFL too,
We'll throw NFL in there, I guess,
You know,
Brant.
maybe an
We'll throw NFL in
football.
there.
I mean,
So, I
Nicholas,
guess,
start us off, buddy.
I'll kind of go in order, I guess, of importance to me, if that makes sense. Like, okay, so big NBA fan. I love the Boston Celtics. My team. They've been my team for a long time, and they know how to break my heart each year. For the NFL, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. CDL, LA Thieves. Love Nate Shot.
yes, sir.
Nick, what are we thinking? What are we thinking here, Nick?
I'm thinking Thieves.
Thinking Thieves, baby.
Always thinking Thieves. Then for the MLB, I kind of just got into baseball because of the show. But the D-backs for my boy Seth Beer. Dog.
You're ridiculous.
Okay,
All right.
Jimmy, you got it. then.
Brim shot. Let's hear him.
All right, so I'm a man of American culture, so America's true team, the Chicago Cubs. Baseball, you know what it is. Then we're gonna go with the Chicago Bears as well. Best team in the NFC North. Don't know what the whole Packers thing's about. And then obviously big Chicago Sky fan. Love the WNBA. Big supporter. Big Bulls fan, I guess too, but I'm more of a Sky fan, honestly. And then
Can you give me three Sky players?
Dansby Swanson's wife and the other ones. Also, it's funny. Dansby Swanson's wife is actually a soccer player, but she also plays in Chicago. So
Yo, just-
I can't name one. Sorry. You already put me on Fraud Watch first episode. Not good. And then Optic, baby. Originally from Chicago. Optic.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
All right, Jake.
My NBA team. I get roasted for this every time. Okay. I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Comes
Oh my God.
okay,
convenient.
easy. Come on, easy. Get a lot of hatred for it. I'm a big Steph Curry fan. I'll probably follow him wherever he goes. He'll be a Warrior for life.
Started watching basketball in 2013. I
Yeah,
promise.
whoa.
Remember when I was 12?
Yeah. I'm also a Green Bay Packer fan.
Oh.
Love you, Nicky. And then I'm a LA Dodger fan for the MLB. And
Big bandwagon.
and I'm also Green Wall, baby. Let's go Optic.
So to clarify something, by the way, he used to be a huge fan of another player on the Warriors. I don't know if you guys remember this guy.
Jordan Bell.
Good old Jordan Bell.
Oh.
Dude dropped off the face of the earth.
He was the center, right, or the forward?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
like a
sir.
power forward, I think.
Yep.
Okay, that's an interesting.
Dude, I bet
Yeah,
he's lighting it
that's
up
a
in
pass.
the Guangdong right now.
He
He's
does
playing
actually
for the
play. He
Tigers.
does actually play in China. I looked it up last night.
He does?
He does actually play in China. I can't remember what team it was, but yes.
At least for the Guangdong Dragons, gonna lose it.
I thought they were the Tigers.
as the last person available, by the way, real quick, I am it's the Guangzhou Lions.
The
By the way.
Guangzhou Lions. Sure.
Yeah.
We're probably pronouncing that
As the
terribly.
last, use Guangzhou. I don't know, you know. It's a team in China. What do you want from me? But as MLB, we are a Dodgers fan. That
Yes,
LA
sir.
love.
Bleed blue, baby. Come
Yeah.
on now.
NBA, we are Lakers fans too. And let me clear something up before we get too far ahead of ourselves. I am not a LeBron fan at all.
My boy. My
Kobe
boy.
fan.
I don't think anybody in here is LeBron fans. We're just gonna get that out in the open.
No.
Thank the Lord. I hate it when he came to the Lakers, but we got a ring, so I can't be too upset. Then for the NFL, the tragedy of the Raiders. A truly, truly miserable existence. And when we go CDL, we go LAT, baby.
Amen.
Rip to Octane's career.
The laughing
Andrade.
stock of the AFC West, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, the Broncos are still in it too. And hey, don't forget the Chargers. They find a way to
But the
choke every
Chargers
year.
have Herbie. Come on.
Yeah, and yet they blew a huge lead to Trevor Lawrence this year, and the year before they lost to us,
Listen,
Week 18 on national television.
talk to me when you make the playoffs, and we can have a conversation.
The playoffs mean nothing. You guys can't even win a championship.
Wow. All right.
All that year, all those years
Jimmy,
of
don't be
Rodgers and Brett
shitting
Favre,
on
you had
your head
2
down
rings.
there.
Dude, we have the best football team to ever play, ever. So, it's whatever.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Fine.
You calm down.
I mean,
85 Bears, best team to ever play the game.
the Dolphins exist too. If you don't mind, they didn't really lose.
I mean, they should have lost every game. I know they didn't lose any, but they should have lost all of them.
And the Dolphins. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go.
CDL?
Shall we start with the CDL?
I mean, we
Ooh,
can.
we're gonna bring tabs.
Some of the big news today.
We got some big news in the CDL today.
Mhm.
Okay.
It has been rumored that Draws was headed to Optic for the past 3 or 4 days now. Everyone was
more.
saying Draws and Pred to fill in for Odan, Ghosty, and Hook.
A criminal decision to let go of that guy, by the way.
Yeah,
Toasty, I
Anyway.
know.
Yes.
Dan
I
Ghosty.
think Heaps took him up.
Guy's a legend.
Played amazing at champs. I don't know what was
Amazing
going on.
at champs. Carried at champs.
Yep.
Anyway, but it sounds like Draws is headed to FaZe to be their new fourth and replace Slasher. For the two Thieves fans in the podcast, let's hear some initial thoughts on this.
Toodles,
Grant,
bitch.
You go first.
We will see you later, Grossi. Goodbye. That's how I feel about that guy.
I was a big Draws fan. All the
Ah.
smack talk, I was all for it. But
He's a little over the top, and then you got his girlfriend too, who was calling stuff out on
Yes.
man, like, you know.
he's a
Let's
little-
address that
he's
for a
little-
second. That's gotta stop.
That's gotta
That's
Yeah.
gotta
Well,
stop,
it
dude.
wasn't, and part of me is like, yes, if she is doing it, she's in the wrong. But those guys have their headsets cranked to infinity.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're actually gonna hear anything.
Right. I agree with you.
Like,
Players have made comments though, like you can hear it. So I mean,
You're right.
well, but I also feel like if you have a crowd of people doing it, then yes.
yeah.
Because usually it was Optic, right? Was
Mhm.
because Optic had the green wall. They were the only ones with fans for a long time.
I mean, it's like
And
that kind of
so-
anywhere they go. Like they travel so well.
Oh yeah, every
Yeah.
event they're at, it's home.
Yep. But,
Yeah, so I got a tweet here from CDL Intel. In the last week, Octane has retired. Draza rumored to join Optic, which has now come to light that he's going to FaZe. Envoy is more than likely headed to Toronto Ultra, and Kenny is also a free agent. His future is unknown. So it's not looking good for the Thieves boys over here unless they're gonna make some moves in the upcoming weeks.
Well, maybe you go young. Maybe you get a guy like Sib, and build around that guy.
Well, if
We'll
Optic doesn't
see how it plays out.
and if Optic doesn't
Oh,
bring
yeah.
back Dan Ghosty, That wouldn't be a
And
bad
Ghosty
pickup to
replaced
build
Kenny.
around
I would
too.
love to get Ghosty.
I'd rather have Ghosty than Kenny.
Oh,
It does
we might not have
say-
Knox in there.
From another tweet
Sure.
from CDL Intel, Ghosty turned down an offer from Boston Breach.
Yeah, blame him.
Didn't
I-
they?
I also saw-
Who does Boston have now?
They're all gone too.
Yeah.
They didn't keep anyone.
Let me make sure.
Their whole lineup was being rotated out anyway. They came with a whole
Yeah.
new 4 for champs that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Uh,
released
What about Beans though? They keep Beans.
Joe to Sieves. They released Vivid and Nero. It doesn't sound like they released Beans.
So I can't believe they released Beans after all the hype around
So
him.
they dropped the other 3, and then they still have Kremp. So they have Kremp and Beans, but they released the other 3.
I bet they'll still sign 3 low key, even with Kremp on the roster.
Yeah,
Awesome,
Kremp
yeah.
Kremp got.
Fickle on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, Kremp got
there's a lot
thrown in at
Don't have
champs. So.
anybody still.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the free agent list? I mean, Priesta. I mean, it sounds like between Priesta and
is some-
Subliners, the negotiations for that new deal has been very, very rocky.
I saw something that said they are essentially trying to like railroad him into not making much at all. So,
Trying to take a pay cut to keep the roster together.
and as a team that just won champs, I think that's kind of pathetic.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you think about with Thieves too. Like, they won champs. What? Not
last year.
last
Last year.
COD.
Mhm.
They play an entire year, but did they win an event?
Did they won one?
They won
Major
one.
They won
the
one,
Major
yep.
four.
the
That's
first
right.
major,
Yeah, Major 4. And
Or
now
4, yeah.
they're all gone.
Yeah.
Starting with Octane retiring. So
Which I mean,
I don't
State
blame
of
the
COD.
guy. You're right.
You watched his video. He goes.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight. This is not a skill issue.
no,
That's my boy. Let
no,
him
it's
know.
not.
And let's address
fair.
that too while we're talking about it. The state of COD is absolutely horrendous right now.
Oh, it's
It's
terrible.
bad. It is bad.
It is by far the worst it's ever been.
Call me crazy. MW2 would not be bad if Dead Silence was a perk and not a field upgrade.
The game
I don't think that
definitely
fixes it.
still has its issues, but I think that's
Yeah.
a big
Yeah,
one
but I think
for
I-
sure.
If Teddy was like an actual perk and they didn't have all the sound EQ stuff going on, like sure, I agree it wouldn't be a bad game. It just wouldn't be a good game either.
would it be the best COD in the last 4 years?
No,
No.
Cold War's better.
Cold War is better.
I hated
The
Cold
thing,
War.
the thing about Cold War,
War is a well balanced game. It's just
Yeah.
not super interesting to watch.
Cold
Yeah.
War, honestly, Cold War, in my opinion, could have been a top 5 COD had it not been thrown in where it was thrown in.
They didn't
Yeah,
have time to
yeah,
develop
It just
yeah.
got
Yeah,
put in
Cold War
with
was
some
bad.
of the worst COD titles in easily the last 5-10 years.
MW 2019 would not be that bad if it had been 4v4. I think. I really think
I agree.
that game would have been much more entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But it was too quick of a paced game for 5v5, and there was just too much chaos.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It was hard to watch.
it was extremely hard to watch.
We go favorite CODs here then? Do we go in the circle? Favorite COD? of
Favorite
all time?
CODs. Let's do it.
BO4.
BO4, really?
Huge
I'm going-
BO4 guy.
I'm going BO2, the classic. It's got to be.
I'm gonna go BO4 for number 1 for me as well.
I'm an
Really?
avid BO4 lover myself.
Let's
Seeing
go.
as I still
Really?
play it currently.
Yeah, me and B have been playing some Money 10 series,
Yes,
just
sir.
some throwback series on BO4. Really
Love
enjoy
that
that COD. Really enjoy that
BO2
COD.
is really good too. And MW2 and MW3, the originals were fantastic.
Mhm.
BO3 is fantastic. Ghost, I think, is strongly overrated. It was a fun multiplayer COD.
I agree,
It was
100%.
an awful competitive COD.
Competitively, just miserable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Blitz and Domination are your two staples outside of S&D. Blitz and
Yeah.
Domination. God,
Yeah.
Forgot
I
about
mean-
that.
yeah.
That was so bad.
You know why
Oh.
you forgot about it? Because nobody wanted to watch it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
not great for viewing.
you know, Uplink for Jetpack COD's fantastic.
That was awesome.
CTF for Boots on the Ground COD, fantastic. Hardpoint's great too. So But
I agree. So, are we moving on?
Shall we move on?
You should, yeah.
All right, let's get into some MLB here. Headed
Okay.
into the All-Star break. Let's see here. What do we got
I
going
gotta
on?
get this off my chest. Here's the deal. I do not like Fernando Tatis Jr. as a person. I do not. But what he does on the baseball field is incredible.
it is spectacular to watch.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did not make the All-Star team, in my opinion, is a little ridiculous.
It's a sham.
And that's coming from someone who genuinely does not like him as a player.
I got to get something off of my chest.
Okay.
Okay. The fact that Will Smith, the catcher of the Dodgers, is getting
Not the
no love. No love.
No love?
He's in second place in voting, behind Sean Murphy of the Braves.
Sean Murphy's a dog.
Dog,
the
stop it.
Braves are
You
playing
gotta
well.
stop right now.
Will Smith is not a good defensive catcher.
Ooh.
Sean Murphy is arguably the best
Whoa.
defensive catcher in all.
Whoa. Whoa.
You can
Wait a
say all you want. If you look
Hold.
at outs above average in all of the metrics,
You
Will
better.
Smith is an average to below average catcher. Sean Murphy has consistently for the past 3 years been one of the best defensive catchers in the game.
Cat, fact check him real quick. Can we
Um,
look at
It's
the
gonna
chat?
do.
The only reason I remember
Smith.
that Sean Murphy is such a good fielding catcher is because the Cubs wanted him so bad in the offseason, and he was the best fielding free agent catcher that was available, including Wilson Contreras.
I'm running a fact check on you there, buddy.
We just
Do it.
we call out Nate twice in a row for
This guy's
yes in
faded.
the first pod.
Let's see.
And I'm going by the eye test. My eye test doesn't lie.
Didn't you have that eye test for Hunter Deckers too?
Nah, I knew he was going to be bad.
His fielding percentage is
You can't go by fielding
.998.
percentage. You can't go by fielding percentage as a catcher. You have to go by defensive or WOBA.
I thought it was all of the metrics, every single one.
Fielding is a
does.
single metric. That's not all of the metrics.
He's got one
Trying to
error. I mean,
Let me see if I can't find a.
Trying to look
See,
it up,
here's
too.
the problem. Here's the problem with some defensive metrics, is that like they're very like wins above replaced is a weird stat. There's a lot of different variables that go
There
into that.
is, yeah, that's fair. Okay, we'll just go by the eye test. As a man that played catcher at a point in his life at a very rudimentary level, I can tell you that Sean Murphy's a better defensive catcher than Will.
okay, let's hear. I got some stats here. I got some side-by-side stat comparisons.
Okay.
Games played. Sean Murphy has played in 394. Will Smith has 421. In plate appearances, Will Smith has about 160 more plate appearances.
Are you in your kitchen?
Me?
What is that a fridge?
Is that a fridge?
No,
Is that a fridge?
I'm in my mom's office.
I was about to say, okay, if you're doing it in the kitchen, every podcast episode, I'm changing location. And it's just going to be more and more obscure.
You
I'll
have
be in
to.
the shower next episode.
Oh man. All right, let's lock in. Huh? Let's lock in.
I'm dialed.
Let's lock in. All right, Will Smith has about 150 or so more plate appearances. Will Smith has scored about 50 more runs. He's got 60 more hits. He's shy in doubles by 4. You shut your mouth.
You didn't listen to my argument. I did not
Defense,
say
I
he's a better
understand.
overall
I'm getting
player.
there.
I
I
said
am
Sean
getting
Murphy
there.
is a better defensive catcher.
I am
There's
getting
no question in my
there.
mind that Sean Murphy is a worse hitter than Will Smith.
Okay,
is.
well
There's
then
no
let's
question.
talk about this then. Who votes All-Star voting based on defensive fielding? Nobody and their grandma is doing that.
Okay, question for a guy that's not
I
a
am.
big MLB guy.
You're
is,
faded. You're the
Will
only one doing it.
Is the All-Star game
Dude, you're just
similar
glazing Will
to
Smith right now. It's crazy.
the NBA All-Star game?
As far as what?
No defense?
It's no,
No.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, there's definitely defense for sure.
Okay, okay.
It's different sport to sport because like in the MLB, your All Star game, you know, a few guys play every few innings. You know what I mean? You're switching in and out pretty regularly. Whereas like
Okay.
the NBA All Star game, you've got like body on body, like they just let the guy walk by. It's pretty
Yeah.
pathetic.
Now, the new formula has made it better. The NBA.
By the way,
I would just like to point this out. I pulled up Sean Murphy's last year. This is last year's stats. Ayers committed as a catcher. He had 8, the least by any catcher. He was second in assists by a catcher, third on pass balls, and 5th on the range factor in innings per 9 as a catcher, which is like your overall defensive stat, according to Baseball Reference.
So you wanna go by those stats, huh?
Last year?
If we go defensive WAR, Will Smith is ahead of Sean Murphy. Will Smith has 1 error to Sean Murphy's 5.
For this year or
Okay.
last year?
This is this year. This is
Okay. I didn't
live.
look at this year. I was looking at last year.
Yeah. Range factor, Sean Murphy is a little bit ahead of Will Smith on that. But
He's better. Prove my
This
point.
guy, dude. This guy. This
it's one
guy.
stat in his favor. He's better. See.
All of the stats, all of the metrics. Point to
Well, he plays
prove
in the Dodgers too. Like, you guys have like the best pitching, or
No,
some
our
of the best
pitching-
pitching ever.
Our pitching is terrible this year.
Horrible.
Clayton
this year.
Kershaw is playing great this year.
Clayton Kershaw's
He's
hurt.
the only pitcher we have.
He wasn't hurt the whole year.
He was
He's a
hurt
young
for the
guy. He
first
wasn't a young
part.
guy that's been-
He's pitched like
no, he
10
just got hurt.
games and he just got hurt again.
Dude, I don't know what you
No,
want me to tell
our
you. You're just,
What I
pitching
want you to
is
admit is that
atrocious.
Will Smith should be starting the All-Star game over Sean Murphy. Offensively and defensively this season. You don't vote on All-Star voting about last season's stats. This season.
Little fun fact, real quick. The Dodgers are 23rd in team ERA.
Oh my goodness.
23rd.
Where are we
he's
at in
a
the
no bullpen
Where are we
anymore,
at in the
that's fair.
division?
Nathan, where do you put-
We are. Only the Rockies are worse in the division.
where do you put the
When-
L in your name, Premi?
Oh.
Dude, you're so funny.
oh.
You're so funny, Nick. What are you
Sure.
doing?
Thank you.
You're just being attacked.
So as far as All-Star voting goes, Sean Murphy has won the catcher's starting spot for a catcher with 603,000 votes.
Sure.
At first base, we'll have Freddie Freeman. He won
Yeah,
that
it's-
vote by a
Of
landslide,
course. Yeah, there's not even competition.
like 400,000 votes. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's Freddie.
Ozzy Albies gets snubbed I don't know
I
how
was
to-
shocked by that, actually.
by the second baseman for the Marlins.
Oh,
Who's playing second for the Marlins?
Arias.
It's not Jazz
It's
anymore.
Luis. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, it's
Ari-
Ryan.
Arias?
No. Dude, he's gonna win MVP. He has been damn near batting 400.
Is he
Yeah.
frying this year?
He fell
Yes,
off
dude,
in the last
he did
game.
fall. He's lower, but like through the first like month and a
So
half
he-
of the season, he's literally batting
He's
400.
back to 384. The thing that's gonna kill him is his slugging is non-existent. I mean, the guy has 3 home runs on the season.
Ouch.
Dude, if you're batting 400, I don't care.
I get it, but at the same time, he is.
What's his What's his OPS?
It's not. One second. Let me just pull up all the little statistics.
It was
Okay,
insane.
Arias is hitting.
It was like 1100 or something.
His OPS is down to .918 now. His slugging is .477, which is barely ahead of his average.
Yeah.
I still think he's a dog.
Well, batting 400, no
good.
doubt. He's definitely a dog, but he
I mean,
just
you
doesn't
got
hit for
Acuna
power, you know.
Hitting 337
Yeah.
with power. Freeman's hitting 313. You got Bo Bichette hitting 315. I mean, these guys are actually hitting the ball. Mookie Betts has 23 homers. Shohei's only at 31. which is
He's gonna be in the home run derby this year.
Mookie
So
Betts
is
is in the
Andrew
home run
Richardson.
derby, yeah.
So
We had a pretty tight race at third. Nolan Arenado, Austin Riley, and Max Muncy. Nolan Arenado took it, 410,000.
which respectfully, Muncie has no business in that.
No
argument.
business being in that.
No, because he plays for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
he's up there.
respectfully,
He hit
respectfully.
like 215.
Yeah.
Patrick Wisdom is 8th in that, and Patrick Wisdom has started maybe 20 games at third.
I was
Maybe.
about to say,
Yeah.
wasn't he down in the Cubs for the Iowa Cubs?
Yeah.
Wisdom will.
Yep.
Yeah, he was for
He
a
was
little
for
bit.
quite a
you're
while,
right.
yeah. I think Max. Yeah, Max. What's Brant? Can you give me a stat check on Max Muncy's OBP? Because he's a big walk guy. He's got a great eye on him.
He's probably like
Muncy has a
780 still.
His OBP is 320. His OPS is 782.
Okay.
Dude, I called
So-
it. Literally called it.
It doesn't help that the guy's hitting a smooth 195.
Yeah, and he's got okay.
Come on, boy, is that guy even competing for? Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
He lost to
Yeah, in
Austin
fairness,
Riley in votes by
Kinda good on
10,000.
base percentage.
He was
Does have good on base percentage. So
he was shy 10,000 votes of taking over second place from Austin Riley.
yeah, that's kind of criminal.
Yeah, Nolan Arenado won it by 50K votes, but at shortstop, here's where we can get a little mixy. I mean, Orlando Arcia won it, but
Yeah.
and rightfully so. But we've
I
got
agree.
in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, I mean,
Six.
Arcia,
6, really.
Lindor, Bogarts, McLean, Swanson, Trey Turner, Why is Chris Taylor up for voting at shortstop? What?
Because he's played like 10 games of shortstop for you.
Yeah, so is Mookie Betts, but he's not getting voted for at shortstop.
Why not?
Really, that top 6 is like that's pretty
All-star
star-studded.
level.
Yeah, you could have
Who
gone with any of
took it?
those guys.
Arcia and Dansby's the alternate, right?
Dansby was 5th. It's Lindor.
Dansby's an all-star though.
Did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless you got the player vote.
Yeah, he must have got player vote. DH, JD, Just Dinger, Martinez. I mean,
Arcia is actually the starter, by the way.
yeah.
All
RC is a
reserve.
starter. Who's the reserve?
Swanson.
It's Swanson, and who else?
And
Mm.
your infield reserves are Matt Olson, Ozzy Albies, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, and Pete Alonso.
Okay.
Those are your infield reserves.
DH, we had JD Martinez, Bryce Harper, Travis Darnaud,
Travis Darnell.
Jorge Soler, Andrew McCutcheon was in there.
You just skip over Christopher Morel like that?
Huh?
You just skipped over Christopher Morel like that?
Yeah, because he's a Cub. Why would
He's
I
a
say a
dog.
Cub?
Play for a
He's
real
a
team.
dog.
Yeah, okay, you better calm down, buddy.
He's younger than you, Nick. You better be careful. He's a dog.
Younger than me?
Yep.
You are the worst.
Who does he have more hair than, Nick or Primy? Oh,
That's just
yo,
uncalled for.
yo.
It's uncalled for.
Hey, on me.
Okay.
I mean, let's move into outfield. I mean, these are pretty. The top 6, really. I mean, we already established that we don't like Fernando Tatis.
Dude, Michael
But-
Harris Jr.'s got to be higher up there. I'm sorry. He's been playing so good this year.
Question:
Yo,
Did Yelich make the All-Star team?
Yelich is having a down year.
No, Yelich is
No,
having
he's
a
hitting
down
284.
5 years.
Yelich is hitting 284 this year.
He's not even in
a lot
the.
of
He's not even in the top 20.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
no.
criminal for a guy that's hitting 284 this year. But
Are-
his RBI numbers are a little low.
Top 6 is Acuna, Mookie, Gurriel, Juan Soto, Corbin Carroll, Fernando Tatis.
He only has 2.5 WAR this year. I bet all those guys are 4 over for WAR.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh
See,
yeah,
I
he's
think-
only
I
at
think
766 OPS.
I think WAR is a very overrated statistic. I gotta be honest.
I would agree. It's not encompassing. I would agree.
Not at all.
But he only has 766 OPS, and that's not going to cut it to be an all-star.
No, not at all. Let's move over to the American League. Clear-cut favorite by me, and it looks like by the voting as well. Adley Rushman. Saw that guy in Omaha. He's a tank.
He's a
Hits
dog.
absolute nukes. Love that guy.
He's good.
I love that Salvi's in the top 3. That guy's a character. Love Salvi.
Especially after signing that contract. Good for him.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. First baseman. This was pretty tight. Yandy Diaz and Vlad. Vlad took it, but
Okay, Captain Rizzo getting up there too with the votes.
yeah, Rizzo was up there. He still lost by 210,000 votes, but the top 1 and 2 had over 500K apiece. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's impressive that he's up there. Second base, Marcus Semien, Jose Altuve, Whit Merrifield. Marcus
Dude,
Semien won
speaking of
that by
Marcus
a
Semien,
landslide.
How about the Rangers going out and getting Chapman?
Yeah, holy cow. Let's talk about that for a second. Go ahead, Matt.
He's back up thrown to 102, 103 finally for the Royals. Got traded, and looks like their bullpen's actually. I think they're still like one solid back end piece away from being a legit contender. Because if you're having Chapman close games he's a good setup, like 7th, 8th inning guy. But if you're having him try to go in, save 30, 40 games for you plus the postseason, I don't know if he's your guy.
Well, that 105, 106 turns into mid to high 90s cheese as a closer, and it's
Yep.
just less effective.
Absolutely.
Texas doing well right now for themselves, though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, they are.
for sure.
They're finally trying to push the Astros out of that division.
Thank goodness.
Third base in the AL, Matt Chapman. That's pretty tight. Pretty tight there. With I don't know how to say this guy's last name either. Third baseman for the Rangers.
Josh Young, I think his
Josh
name is.
Young.
I think it's
Okay.
Young. I could be wrong,
Yeah,
though.
it's young. It's young.
Thought so.
Shortstop, Bo Bichette, no doubt. He's tearing
Dude,
it
it's
up.
all Blue Jays, bro. Is it in all Blue Jays?
It's all
Oh,
Blue
yeah,
Jays and
Rangers.
Rangers. It's all Blue Jays and Rangers.
Oh my
I just
god.
They
noticed that.
It
dominate
is.
most of the All-Star
Outside of
teams.
Adley Rushman, it is.
I mean, dude, you got Junaheim, Semien, Young, Corey Seager,
Bo Bichette, Corey Seager.
Vladdy Guerrero, Whit Merrifield, Bobichet. Like Adelise Garcia in the
I
outfield.
mean,
too.
even for
Even time in the
DH,
outfield.
Shohei's number 1, but Brandon Belt
Brandon
for the.
Bell.
he's-
Brandon Bell. Look
Brandon
at him
Bell.
come.
This guy still exists? Who is this
That's what
guy?
I'm saying.
Who
I
is
didn't know
this guy?
Brandon Bell was even still in the
Guy's
league.
40,000 years old.
Go for
Outfielders,
Brandon Belt.
Aaron Judge, Mike
Just like,
Trout,
JD
Jordan,
Martinez having a great year too as a DH.
Rosarena. We got Kevin Kiermaier at number 5 for the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
No Rangers
And
though.
George Springer.
First Ranger. I guess there's a Ranger at 6, but
Lodi Tavares.
yeah.
Any surprising names at pitching? My goodness, the same old, same old.
My list doesn't have pitchers. Read them off, buddy. Go for it.
You got Shohei, obviously.
No doubt.
Garrett Cole, Luis Castillo, Sonny Gray, Nathan Eovaldi, Kevin Gausman, Shane McClanahan. I think is how you say that name. Framber Valdez, Michael Lorenzen, and then George Kirby for Seattle. Relievers, you've got Kenley Jansen, Emmanuel Clace, Felix Bautista, and Yenier Cano. Is how you say that guy's name?
Sounds right.
Nice
Yeah.
little solid grouping there.
Dude, if you would have told me a year ago that the Orioles are going to have 2, not 1, but 2 relief pitchers in the All-Star game, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah, that's if you told me the Orioles would be a
Yeah.
winning team 2 years ago, I'd have told you you're insane. Meanwhile, here they sit at 49 and 35. And look
Yeah.
at the Rays go, the machine that is the Rays.
They just don't make sense. Hey, the Cubs got 2 pitchers. Got Justin Steele and Big Show Stroh.
Big Show Stro.
So what are we looking at here for the playoffs for these teams? I mean, who do we think? I mean, obviously we've got the Rangers and the Astros are definitely competing. You got the Rays, Orioles, and Yankees. Who's winning the Central? The Guardians or the Twins?
I think it's gonna be the Twins. Call me crazy.
44 and 43 and 42 and 43.
Yeah, it's a pretty pathetic. division.
Cleveland's a game back heading into the All-Star break here coming up.
Both Central divisions are just awful this
They're
year. just
terrible.
so bad.
Kansas City are firing on all cylinders. They are red hot right now on a 2-game
The Reds
losing
are
streak.
actually 47 and 39. Guys, what is life? The Reds are in first, and the bottom two in the NL Central are the Cubs and the Cardinals. What is
It's a
going
weird
on?
division.
That's
no
a
doubt.
weird division.
It's the Brewers and the Reds competing for the division right now.
If the Dodgers could stop losing, we'd be in
They
first
quit
place
blowing
in the
leads,
division.
yeah.
Cubs are playing right now. They're losing to the Brewers.
LA's 2.5 back from Arizona. San Fran's 4
Giants
back.
right there in striking distance too.
The Padres are
yeah,
10 back. And then the Rockies are out. They've been all
Rockies are gonna be out.
but out.
They're
yeah.
already at 55 wins. They're done.
Yeah.
Once they
Better
sign
start to
Bryant,
put
they
their,
seal their death for the next 5 years.
Braves and Marlins both having great seasons so far.
Miami is in striking distance of Atlanta in the East. They're 7.5 back.
And they're sitting in the number one wild card spot right
Wild
now.
card spot,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, at 51 and
Not wild card
37
at
to be
all.
in second place in the division, that's tough.
I'd be pissed.
That is
heartbreaking.
tough.
And they're 7.5 games back. It's not like they're right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're like not even striking distance right now. They got a ways to go.
they'd be winning like every other division.
Oh, they would be winning almost every year. Actually, they'd still be beating the Rays because they have only 31 losses. They'd be a half game ahead of the Rays too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. That reminds me of the year that the Giants had 107 when the Dodgers had 106.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
All right, we want to move on to NBA. Get Nick involved.
Let's get Nikki back in here. Let's
NBA
talk.
free agency. Actually, before
Sure.
we go into that, the NBA they are doing the in-season tournament in Las Vegas in December.
They did confirm that December 7th and 9th, I believe, are supposed to be the first two games.
So,
What's the
and
prize again?
those are-
500K.
I think those are the only days because it's only 4 teams. I think
That's
it's
right.
a one and done thing.
That's
Mm.
right.
So it's
Which
the
is-
top 2 teams from each conference, and
Top
or
two conference.
I think it is. I don't know if it's top 4 teams
That
overall.
would sound realistic.
And then they play in the championship after the conference finals.
Mhm.
But how do we feel about that?
I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't like the concept of the in-season tournament. Not to mention, I saw that the first games are going to count towards regular season stats,
Not the championship. 'cause
not the
that makes sense.
championship. Yeah, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Are they
And
treating the regular season like? Are they going to take away one regular season game for the 2 top teams playing in those first games? Like, how does that work? Or are those guys just going to have 83 games on their roster? You know what I mean? It doesn't make a lot of sense. It throws a lot of wrenches and stuff. You know, the total season records are affected by it. It just doesn't.
You can't possibly count those wins.
It's
to-
like having a NFL scrimmage mid-season. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest with
I
you.
agree.
But
I'm
it's
not
supposed
a
to be
fan.
entertaining. It's supposed to be a hype train. So
When we get to hear the best sports personalities in the game broadcast.
that is
NBA
always
on
nice.
TNT crew is unmatched.
Yes, sir. NBA on TNT is the wave.
Okay.
Let's
the
dive
free
in.
agency.
Yeah, let's dive into some free agency here. What do we
Favorite
got?
free agent signings. What do we got, boys?
Well,
We go around.
Absolutely. Start at the top and work our way through.
Okay, mine's a little sarcastic here, but Alice re-signing Kyrie Irving, I just find very humorous and just dumb.
that
So my thought is yes, they are not gonna get anyone better. I feel like the market out there for like I think the market out there for Kyrie right now the Lakers didn't want him. That's how I see that. And I think
Yeah.
that was his only shot of getting to another like championship, another team was the Lakers, and they shut him down, and I don't blame them. So congratulations, Dallas, for the most overrated signing of the offseason.
He is a great player. I just don't know how him and Luca fit together.
I mean, they're both They're both like
maniac.
yeah. I mean, they're both like super ball dominant players, and to put two of them on the floor at the same time, on paper it looks great, but I mean, we saw at the end of the year last year it didn't work. It didn't work.
Did not.
I'm shocked they wanted to run it back.
And yeah, exactly. For 3 years, 126 mil. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see with a full off season of working out together, building that chemistry.
Well, the other problem I see with it too is that they don't have a lot of money for other players.
You're right, and
Mhm.
I think that's the other big problem is
You've already got Hardaway making 18 million. You've got Grant Williams now, who you just
Grant
traded.
Williams now on there, yeah.
Christian
13
Wood.
million.
He's
Kleber and
still there?
Rashawn Holmes are both making 12 million. You know, Christian Wood's a free agent right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't been signed.
Dwight Powell.
Yep, Dwight Powell's there too. He's only making 3 million. That's actually a nice free signing for them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh,
That's not
according to
bad.
this, yes,
He's not very
2023-24 cap figure is only 3 million.
Gotcha.
So that's actually nice for them.
And Seth Curry went there, didn't he?
Signed. Yeah, Seth Curry is there now.
Yeah,
They
he
don't have
came
a bad
back.
team. They just don't have a good team. You know.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a true premium center.
And
Hardaway
they-
Jr. is your third best player with Seth Curry, and then what? Maxi Kleber or Grant
Actually,
Williams?
yeah.
I mean, you just don't have much of a roster around those guys.
Are they better than? Are they better than the Jazz? With the year that they had last year.
I mean, are they better than most teams in the West? I don't know if they're a playoff team. Still,
Even if they're in the East, I don't know if they're a playoff team.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just not a. They've got to find a way to make that work. Luca and Kyrie have to find a way to make that work. Otherwise, it's another waste for them, and they're just gonna have to trade Kyrie again.
What is
Another big thing is Kyrie actually playing too. So,
yeah?
Yeah, that would help.
What does Luca have on his contract?
40 million.
How many years?
He still has.
Two?
Let's see.
Luca.
He's still got 2 years left. Let me look at that. Yeah, he is signed through 2026-27, but that's a player option. So the
it'll be
for sure year is
2024.
2025-26. He'll be
Yeah,
making
so
46
he'll
million
opt
a
out.
year.
Yeah,
So-
locked out.
So they got to ride it
Yeah,
out for at
it's
least
very-
2 years.
The next 3, actually, because Kyrie signed a 3-year deal as well.
Okay. So Luca's
Yeah,
got
it's
3 with a
pretty-
player option.
3 with a +1 player option.
Okay.
And Kyrie has 2 with a player option on that 3rd year. So,
I mean, the other thing we could talk about with Dallas is their defense. They don't have defense. Kyrie doesn't
No,
play
they have
defense.
defense.
Luca
And
doesn't
Luka's
play
not a great
defense.
defender either.
Defense.
that's the same problem I see with Phoenix.
Yeah.
You've got Booker and Bradley Beal, who are terrible defenders.
KD doesn't play
And
a
then
lick.
KD's not a great
Nope.
defender either. He's at best a good defender. The only defensive player they have on that team is DeAndre Ayton. And he can't be everywhere on the floor, and that guy has no heart either.
Yeah.
I mean, you
True.
saw him give up in the playoffs.
Nope.
He got bullied around by Jokic.
To be fair, I feel like not to dog on your Warriors, Jake, but I feel like the Warriors set a trend where we are
Man,
gonna out offense you. You are gonna take
Mhm.
bad shots to match that, and we're gonna call it great defense.
Well, see, the
The
problem that I have
difference
with that
being-
though is the Golden State actually had a good defense.
they did. They had a great
Don't
do.
forget that
They
they
do.
did.
Just-
I wouldn't say they do anymore. I mean, they're still good. They're not great like back in 17. Like Steph was in the running for defensive like what? I mean, he won MVP.
All NBA second or all defensive.
All
He-
defensive
he was
second
a
team.
pesky defender.
Draymond
Yeah.
was all NBA first team. Clay was probably second team.
Clay was a beast.
I mean,
You know, throughout the years, they've had good defensive players on their bench. They had good defensive players last year outside of Jordan Poole.
and looking at our current roster, I mean, the year that we just won the chip a couple of years ago. And Gary Payton, I mean, props to Gary Payton. That guy defensed our way to a championship, to be completely honest with you.
Hell of a player.
Andrew Wiggins, not a terrible defender.
Not a terrible
by any
defender.
means.
Not a terrible defender. Had a tough job against the C's in the finals.
Wiggins is a
He
very,
made-
very
He
good
made it
defender.
look easy.
Yeah, I did.
See, with the Warriors, I don't like. I saw this on Twitter earlier today, and I thought it was hilarious. They said potential death lineup, and it was Steph, Chris Paul, Clay, Wiggins, and
Almost
Draymond. And then they
threw
said, "Who's stopping this? Anybody with size?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any team with anybody that's larger than 6'6".
Cough, cough,
you
Phoenix.
imagine-
Put
you
Ayton and KD on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, with Beal and Booker, you're talking, 2'6'5" guys standing over Chris Paul and Steph Curry. How do you defend that? You're just
You
not big
can't.
enough.
You can't. I
I
think
mean-
the other way around too. They'll have a hard time stopping the shooting of Golden State, but there's no
Sure.
size on the
Phoenix
inside.
will.
I mean, Phoenix can take away the shooting,
I mean, just look
and
at
the problem
any
that Golden
other
State will have is
decent
they have
team.
no size to be able to work it inside out.
Look at a team like Memphis, who's got good size, who's got good defenders, who's got good speed. They can defend that. You can't defend them though.
No.
So it's.
Right.
I mean, the Warriors are gonna run into the same problem they've run into every year too, where Kayvon Looney's just not good enough to stop other centers.
No.
And their strategy with it as well, he can get enough rebounds to where the missed shots we have, we can make up for.
And the
That just has to work.
Lakers series, AD out rebounded him.
Yeah,
I mean, easily. It wasn't close.
George Poole cost him that series.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree, but there were
His
underlying problems with that team as in general. Starting off with Draymond and Jordan Poole at the beginning of the year.
Look, for me, that is what makes the NBA, to me, the best league out of all professional sports is the more like drama TV, like reality TV aspect. Who writes that script? You win a championship and you have one of your best players punching another one of your key players in training camp? In training camp? Like, who comes up? John Morant? Gun problems twice? What a moron?
He's a dog.
Twice? The Grizzlies told him you need to become a better shooter, and he took it way too literally.
He's lethal on the court.
Way too seriously.
No.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
That's good stuff.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it, Primshot.
Mine was going to be Grant Williams going to Dallas as
Ooh.
well, just because
Fits.
I feel like Nick was going to be happy, but
I like Grant.
I don't know. How you feel about Marcus Smart?
Hurts every day. Worse and worse.
I haven't talked to you about it.
Well, yeah, you'd actually have to hang out with us to.
Dude, I'm a working man.
How do you feel about the current Celtics roster?
I feel there's something else in the works. There's no way Brad just got 3 more second round picks for nothing. I kind of want to talk about. I've got a theory that's a little out there for who they're gonna try and get, but the whole Dame situation,
That's what mine was going to be.
refusing
I
to
think
play
Dame would be
for
beautiful.
anybody but the Heat.
I don't think he's refused to play for anybody but the Heat.
His
I think he's
preferred
strongly
destination,
suggested that he wants to go there.
is he wants to go to Miami.
But
Obviously,
the
I follow
teams
a
he's
bunch.
willing to go to.
I follow a bunch of Boston sports pages. It sounds like the Celtics have the best like they had the best offer, obviously, until Grant Williams left. So that takes out a
I mean,
piece. But
what are
I
they
think-
offering?
I would assume they want to get rid of that Brogdon contract. Bad.
Yeah, but
Uh,
you'd also need to throw in Derek White in there too to make the money work.
I don't think so. I think like
Derek
before
White
they
or
would have
Robert
done.
Williams.
I think it would have been Malcolm, Rob, and Grant, and then a whole lot of picks.
Well, Grant Williams is no longer there for that. So
Yeah, so that
that
kind
throws
of
a wrench in.
yeah. But then, so my crazy fan theory is that we go after Paul George.
EG.
I just don't see how Paul George fits it though. You know,
I don't
you
either.
I
still
don't
need
know
a
how the
ball
money
handler
works out, but
unless
if
you decide to make Jalen Brown your ball handler.
I
But
I think you get rid of Malcolm and Rob again. Somehow you go 5 out and you have Kristaps play 5, and you have Al Horford off the bench, and you're just
yeah, it's your
pure,
6-man.
you're just shooting the whole time. There's gonna be no paint presence at all.
See, that's a lot of back to the basket players, though, man.
I think they just
don't-
want to space the floor so much to just clear everything out for JB and JT to just go to the paint.
It'll be interesting to see how they decide to work that out.
There's something in the there's something in the works. Brad ain't done.
I'll tell you who is done, and that's the Lakers. They've spent every penny they can. Oh my god, I love it. All right, Jake, what is your favorite free agent signing?
Mine was gonna be the Dame Dollar. It hasn't happened yet, but I mean,
Okay.
I'm curious as to how that's gonna work out, because I think
The Dame situation is extremely interesting.
yeah, he requested it so close to when the free agency opened that I don't think anybody expected it. So I think some teams already had their trades and signings ready to go, and then Dame's like, "Hey, I want out of here," and
And he
it's
didn't do it until right after the draft either, did he?
no, he waited. So I think
Where do we think he goes?
I mean,
I think he fits well in Miami, unfortunately.
mm,
You throw Dame, Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tyler Hero.
I think Tyler Hero would have to be part of the Dame trade.
But they don't want
I
him.
don't
The
think
Blazers
Portland
don't want
wants him
Yeah,
though.
I
I think he
don't
would be
think
part
Portland
of a
wants him.
3-team. I think he would have to be part of a
Blazers want
3-team.
Bam.
I think no matter what, Tyler Hero has to get traded for Dame.
I agree.
Which in that case they would have to find a third team that wants Tyler Hero. You know,
As a Golden State fan, I would take Tyler Hero.
you guys don't have the money.
No, we don't, but
You
it
do not
sure
have the
would be
money.
nice.
I'm trying to think of teams that would really be able to sustain that type of trade and would be able to
Thunder.
offer a player that Portland would want.
Thunder.
For the Spurs.
The Spurs don't have anybody that they would want outside of Wembanyama. Keldon Johnson's not enough of a return for Dame.
No,
Not
but
even
I think
close
picks,
to enough.
I think picks and maybe another player could do it, especially if he's
Yeah.
just saying I'm not going to play.
I mean,
I like that return better than the Heat's return. I don't like Hero. I don't like Bubble Boy.
I'm not a fan of Hero either, but I just don't see. There's got to be another team willing to give them because Portland needs somebody that can play next to Jeremy Grant, Henderson, and all that right now. And I just don't see anything crazy that fits what they need. Because if they get rid of Dame, and let's say you have Scoot Henderson as your point guard now, right? You need either a real center to play around, or is there a world where they get a Julius Randle?
Ooh.
You do a 3-team trade with the Knicks, get Julius Randle out of it. I mean, it's going to be a tough situation to work out.
I don't mind that.
Is there any way the Suns dump Ayton like in
Ah.
a 3-team deal and get rid of Like Dame goes to Miami, they take Hero's contract, and Ayton goes to Portland.
You'd have to make it a 4-teamer at that point. Now that I don't see a world where they get rid of DeAndre Ayton. He's kind of the centerpiece of any sort of defensive anchor they have, and they wouldn't get rid of they didn't like Chris Paul. They'd rather keep Ayton over him. They wouldn't trade Ayton for anything else. Anything else.
I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't know if this is realistic whatsoever, but the Lakers' biggest issue is shooting.
Absolutely it is.
And would the Lakers maybe want to get involved in a 3-team trade for Tyler?
If they did, it would be in December, and it would be D'Angelo Russell we'd be shipping out. Because right now our money's so tied up, all those guys just re-signed, and you can't trade those guys until later in the year.
Yeah.
But if we did, it would be in December. But I don't see the Dame thing's getting resolved before the season starts. I would be shocked if it kept going. Because Dame wants out, he's made it clear he wants out.
Yeah, and I think he's more likely to sit out than request a trade and then play.
Yep.
Which is odd because he always seemed like the guy that was like, oh yeah, loyalty and all about ball, and now it's. I don't know how much I could take. Like, you gotta take all this information with a grain of salt because we don't know what he's saying. This is all like agent, speculation. I don't know.
At a point where he doesn't like the team he's on, he doesn't have a vision for the team to succeed. But the Heat are working on a 3 or 4 team scenario in trades for Damian Lillard. Yep, because you have to, because Portland doesn't want Tyler Hero.
Yeah, you have to.
And you can't do anything with like the Sixers and like say Tyrese Maxey because they call him untouchable. If Tyrese Maxey's untouchable, we've got issues. But what do you do? What do you do? I'm gonna go to a personal love of mine for my favorite free agent signing, Kyle Kuzma getting his bag.
Kyle Kuzma getting his bag.
4 years, $102 million. He's getting paid $25.5 million a year. I love that for that guy. You're talking about a guy that won a championship with LeBron and AD, just being a good defender, because he's very versatile as a defender. He's a very underrated defender, actually.
Yeah.
Then you come over to Washington with Beal and Kristaps, and you go out and you average 21 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, while being a staple of the team. I don't know how that team's going to work with Kuzma and Jordan Poole together, but I'm excited for it. I find it really entertaining. So, my personal favorite signing.
I think Jordan Poole his ego got blown way out of proportion after they won the championship.
Yep.
He got so much gas for how he performed in the playoffs and in the finals. And then he comes out the next year, and him and Draymond get into it. He has a terrible year. I mean, truth be told, he had a terrible, terrible year. So, I think something new will be good for him. Definitely get away from Draymond and be great. I'm interested to see how it goes, for sure. I loved him. He was a great player. But
no discipline, no defense. By the way, I did see that Dame will only play for Miami. I did miss that.
He will only play for Miami.
Yep, Dame has made it very clear that he wants to play for Miami and only Miami. And that there's really no reason for any other team to trade for him, as he won't play for them anyway.
Wow.
So there are about 5 teams interested in getting a multi-team trade done, and the Heat are working to try to get that done right now. And the Blazers could just take several first-rounders for Dame, along with one decent-sized contract for another player. So the problem is Dame's contract is $45.7 million. Okay. Oof. And for Miami to get that deal done, they would have to move some of that money, which would include a Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson and Lowry.
I wouldn't mind Duncan Robinson and Lowry.
The problem with that is you have no value there, so you'd have to throw in all your first rounders.
I mean, you're getting Dame.
I get it. It is Dame, but you
D3
also have to
legend too. Come
build
on.
a team around the rest of your team. You know, if they were to trade Lowry and Duncan Robinson and say like a Josh Richardson or somebody like that with a bunch of first rounders,
Yeah.
you would come into the season with your team being Dame, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Caleb Martin. That's your starting lineup. Or, you know, on your bench you would have Kevin Love and Thomas Bryant with Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. You would have no depth whatsoever.
None.
So you'd have to try to get some minimum contract players back in return that could play meaningful minutes, which just don't really exist.
Yeah.
But you know,
Okay.
how do we feel about the Houston signings?
Oh god.
Anybody like Dylan Brooks getting 4 years, $80 million?
Yeah, who signed that idiot?
Look, if Ime could do anything like what he did with the C's, they've got Dylan's a solid defender. They've got some length. I don't know. I think they flirt with a playoff spot. Call me crazy.
Freddie Van Vliet will make it tough. Jock Landale getting 4 years, $32 million. Oh, he's great too. They did sign Jeff Green at a staunch 36 years of age. He's about to turn 37. But
We need to see what Ime does. Was it a fluke? Can he coach? Is he gonna keep his Udoka in his pants? Who knows?
I want to touch on Keegan Murray really quick.
his summer league performance.
I mean, 29 in an absolute slammer time of a dunk down the center of the lane. That's, I mean,
20 more points than he had versus Iowa State junior year. It's crazy.
congrats, you beat us one time in the last 10 years. Merry Christmas. It was a gift.
I love the instant
We've
crowd.
won more in the last 10 years than you have in basketball.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. It's only basketball. Good job.
Actually, every sport besides
What
football.
happened last year? What happened last year?
Really?
Look,
Wha-
we're
You're
not-
gonna
we're not
upset
on a
me.
losing streak
You're
in
gonna upset
football.
me.
We've won the Cy-Hawk series every year since we've been in
What?
since I've been in college.
What?
The overall Cy-Hawk,
guy's
like
faded.
every
Yeah, all
sports.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've won every single one.
Shocker. An Iowa State fan found a way to freaking twist the narrative in their direction. The only sports
What's
that
even the
matter are
narrative?
What do you mean,
baseball,
twist the
basketball, and
narrative?
football. That's
It's-
it.
It's sports equality. I'm sorry we don't just look at one sport and say, you know what, that's our championship.
The only
here."
thing that matters is
We
between
are
the
preparing
Cy-Hawks
for
rivalry
championships, and you
is-
guys are just preparing
In
for us.
football?
It's kind of
It's
pathetic.
football
Dude,
and
I'm so
basketball.
In
sick of you
football?
guys having
Matters.
Iowa State be your biggest game of the year every year. It's
What?
so annoying.
These guys are
Iowa plays
morons.
Michigan and Ohio State. Like, come on.
So when
Yeah,
we
you're gonna play
so-
them. You don't play them.
so
dude.
when we
You're
come-
the other guy.
when
Oh
we
my
come to
goodness.
when we come to your place next year, and I'm sitting with both of you two in the student section, and we blow the doors off you by 40 points, come talk to me then.
Dude,
come
I will
talk to me.
kiss you on the mouth if that happens.
Swear.
Spread
Shake
now.
on.
Swear.
Money on 20 points.
20?
20.
I'll put 20 down on that.
20 for 20.
Mm,
Look
Well,
at Keegan
I
Murray,
mean-
just smooth 29.
I mean, I want to see what the first game looks like.
Oh, that's a cop out. You guys are gonna be awful the
When
first
you
game.
guys
So are
beat-
we.
when
We're
you guys
always
beat
out. We're gonna
against
barely beat
Indiana.
UNI and then blow the doors off Iowa. It happens every year.
Every year? That's crazy.
We won last year.
Yeah. Spencer
Not even
Petras.
once.
That's not my
Next
fault
game.
that you guys put him in the game. Dude,
It's
Brian
so
Ferentz is just the best coach. I can't help it.
Whoa.
So.
So out of
let's-
the last
let's just
two,
go through it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Since 2008, you guys have won 3 times in football.
I was just about to say.
That's a
Since
one-dimensional
2008, you've won. Oh, correction, 4 times, including this year. You've won.
Iowa
4
leads the
times
series.
since 2008.
Iowa has double the amount of wins of as Iowa State.
If you're only counting football, yeah.
That's what
That's
we're
what
talking about.
Football.
You were running your mouth about the football program. You guys suck.
Oh, well, if we suck, we beat you last year, so what does that make you?
We're your Super Bowl. I mean,
Debatable.
Yeah, if
we
we're
were
your
one
Super
game
Bowl-
shy of the
Yeah,
Big Ten
Thank
championship,
you. We just won the Super
You-
Bowl last year by that argument. Thank you.
and then
I
finished
appreciate
last
it.
in the Big 12.
We were not last.
Yeah, West Virginia.
What, by a game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
matter.
we
We
were
were
one
last.
game shy of the Big Ten championship. I don't want to hear it.
We were also like 119th best offense in the league. In the
No,
entire
It
NCAA.
was
It was
219.
Look at
We
the
were like the
219,
second
yeah.
or third worst.
And we still won football games.
Yeah, our defense was
You
like second in the country behind Georgia.
Dude, I wish I could play frickin' Simpson College and
You
Pop
guys won
Warner's are us. And
4 games last year.
This guy's faded.
dude, you lost to Nebraska on your last game where they didn't have a coach. Like,
And you lose to every team in your conference every year.
and they're better than every other team in your conference too. You have no one in your conference.
Excuse me?
Wait, wait.
In your side of your conference.
The Big
I
Ten
didn't
West.
say our side.
In the Big Ten West, you have no one.
Oh,
Sure.
stop.
Wisconsin's your biggest threat, and they're on a free.
And they never actually do anything.
We still play Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State on a rotation.
You haven't played Penn State. You haven't before the last time you played them. You went 5 years without playing Ohio State. You went 4 years without playing Penn State, and you went 6 years without playing Michigan. Before you played them the last year and the year before. Because my best friend goes to Iowa, and he would bring this up all the time.
Without playing Michigan. We played
Yeah,
Michigan
the last
quite a
time
bit
you guys
lately.
played them was I think it was 4 years. It's either 4 or 6. You guys don't play the good schools in the Big Ten. I can't help it.
Last year we played Michigan and Ohio
Yeah.
State.
Yeah, I said last year you did.
Okay, and then 2021 we played
Didn't
Penn
you play-
State.
And before that
and
was 4 years
Indiana
before
was a
that.
top 25 team, and we played Michigan at the end of the
No
year.
way you're arguing
championship.
Indiana. No way you're arguing Indiana right
Indiana at
now.
the time was a top 25 team. Is all I'm saying.
No way
And
you're
yeah,
arguing that
Obviously,
Oklahoma
because
State,
thinking that
Texas
Michael
Tech.
Penix is gonna come back and be good, right? Was
In
that the
20
year he came back?
2020 we played Penn State. And we were supposed to play Michigan, but that game was canceled because of the COVID stuff. Remember?
Oh yeah, convenient.
Oh yeah,
Because you guys didn't want to play.
credit that. Yeah.
Because your conference didn't want to play football.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh, like you
Okay,
guys don't play
conspiracy.
like you guys don't play Southeast Missouri,
Dude.
Ohio, and UNI for your first 3 games of the year.
Yeah.
Did the-
Who do you play? Who do you play?
We usually play Wyoming.
Nevada?
We played against Josh Allen's Wyoming. Yeah, let's hear it. What do you got?
True.
What do you have
And
for me?
Carson Wentz when he was at.
What do you have for
We
me,
played
Nate?
against Carson Wentz too, and we destroyed him.
Yeah, we destroyed him too. What's your point?
You said he just brought up freaking Carson Wentz too, so I said it too.
Hey Jake, we didn't beat him. Remember they beat us on the game winner.
Carson Wentz team?
Yes, they won the national championship that year.
Remember
The year before we beat
when
him.
we lost like 3 games that year? That was our first loss.
You almost lost to
Hey, how
Drake.
many-
You almost
how
lost to
many
Drake in
times-
2018. You almost lost to Drake in
By the way,
2018.
No, we just needed
played-
3
we played
overtimes. We still
Michigan and
won.
Penn State in 2019 as well, so I don't know where that narrative's coming from. Somebody misinformed you.
You did not. You played Penn State in 2019.
We played Michigan and Penn State in 2019.
When was the last time you played Ohio State then?
Uh,
Besides last year.
2018, I think.
It's like
So
it's
5
every
years
it
ago?
flips like every other
Yeah,
year.
we actually haven't played Ohio State in ages. It's been since 2017 when we just
When
Exactly.
we barn burned
when we
them.
destroyed them
Barn
55
burner.
to 24. 55 to 24. After we beat you guys in overtime. That was the last time we actually had a freaking offense. Because Wadley and Stanley and Hawkinson and Vanderberg were all still there with Fan.
I mean, we can go to 2021, Brant.
Oh, I know.
Beat Indiana 34-6. Beat Iowa State by 10, 27-17. Beat
State.
Maryland 51-14. Beat Penn State 23-20.
Oh, that Maryland team was.
Sean Clifford got hurt in that game, and you guys almost lost. He came back in the fourth quarter. You almost lost. I remember
Talking
that.
about that poor
Almost doesn't
bastard
count.
getting hurt.
Almost only counts on horseshoes and hand grenades, buddy.
Weren't you guys cheering when that poor man went down?
Because they
Dude,
knew they had a
you
shot
guys
then.
lost to Kansas
Kansas was good.
In West Virginia.
for the first time in 40 years.
No.
So was,
Now,
so was Indiana. That's the same
field goal
argument.
kicker-
Oh,
and
stop it! Indiana has a
If
good
our
youth here
field goal
there.
kicker hits like any sort of field goals, and X catches a wide open ball in
That's
the end
like
zone,
saying you Spencer Petras didn't have a noodle for an arm.
You don't understand. The kicker in that game that missed the kicks is no longer playing football.
in general.
Yeah, and so is neither is Spencer
That's true,
Petras, dude.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
don't.
but he's not playing because he's a senior. The kid's just not playing football
He had a
anymore.
year left. He has a year
This
left.
kid had 3 years left, and he just quit playing.
football.
Spencer Petras got bullied into not playing anymore.
God, that guy's
Because you
terrible.
guys
He's the
won.
worst Iowa quarterback in 50 years.
He definitely is.
He's historically bad. He's historically bad.
I can't argue. You're not wrong.
Yet we still found a way to beat Kentucky twice. To beat Kentucky twice.
Dude, wait. I gotta hear from the guy whose team is losing to Louisiana 31-14.
They were good that
Louisiana.
year. They didn't lose a game that
The
year. They were
Raging
undefeated.
Cajuns.
It's
They were undefeated.
Louisiana. Are we
We-
serious?
They went undefeated that year.
No, they didn't. They lost to Coastal Carolina.
Oh, who was undefeated that year?
It's Coastal Carolina.
They did it. They were top 25.
Are we serious? So
Coastal
was
Carolina was top
Tulane.
25.
Are we gonna act like Tulane's competing for championships? I mean, come on.
Dude, this is so
Okay,
bogus.
boys. We need to wrap this up. We need
Yeah,
to
we
wrap
do.
this
We need
up.
to wrap it up.
It's a Hawkeye State. It has been and it
Cyclone
always
State.
will be.
Always a Cyclone State.
Listen,
Now.
listen.
As you
I
can
mean,
see, we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
we haven't dipped in the
Yeah.
NFL. We haven't dipped into college football. We get around to football season, it's gonna get crazy in here.
We've got the
I love-
greatest fact checker in the game. Right down there. Right down there.
Y'all are
Dude is
biased
0
fact
for 3
checkers.
tonight? 0 for 3?
I'm not 0 for 3.
This guy
You guys are
prim
biased
shot.
stats.
This guy prim shot right here. This guy's trash.
Fundamentally, objectively not true.
These
Yeah.
two right here, future educators.
false
Are you
narrative.
are you not concerned? Because I am.
I'm only concerned about that one. That one down there.
I'm the smartest man. I'm the smartest man that's ever going to
Podcast
teach.
Kitchen, guys. He's
The smartest
his
man's ever gonna
marbles on-
teach.
Is that a fat joke? Is that a fat
Is
joke?
that a
yeah, because
We're the 4 bears. We're all fat, okay? We're all big.
Hey, we're a little chunky, you know.
Or to love.
I just want to note the
Alright.
level of double chin going on in this call right now.
Gotta cover with the beard, baby. Grow it
Cover
out.
with the
True,
beard.
true. Beard helps.
All right, Nick. Let's get into the last
Wow,
part
bro.
here. The Four Bears parlay locks of the week.
Locks of the week. I think we go. I don't even have this pulled up yet.
I'll do mine. Mine was Joey Chestnut winning the hot dog eating
No
contest. That was my lock of the
No
week.
kidding.
True. That's a man amongst boys there.
It's my goat.
That's a stomach, man. Holy.
I mean, right now, dude. I'm hammering the Cincinnati Reds and Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, give me
Just
insane.
give me Cincy money line, Ellie De La Cruz 2+ hits,
Who you
3+
playing?
bases, bro.
Guys on a
This
tear.
guy's
Guys
different.
on a tear.
I like it.
Lock of the week, huh? The Dodgers to blow another save.
The
My
Dodgers to lose 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh. Sure. Sure.
I've never seen a single team blow so many save. Like, It's so bad. We've already blown
You're
over
not a
10
Cubs fan,
saves this
clearly.
year. We've already blown over 10 freaking saves this year. The Cubs also have the worst save percentage in the league, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, we have blown probably half of our losses have been blown saves.
It's pretty well. You guys haven't had that many opportunities. I think you've only had 21 leads that late in the game. That were close leads, I should say. True save opportunities.
Save-worthy opportunities. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. I was looking at it earlier, actually. Let me see if I can find that real quick. You guys have. I can actually pull this up quick. Okay, so on the year, you have a smooth. You have 18 save opportunities. You've blown 8 of them.
Yep. And we're losing right now to the Brewers.
8 of your 18 save opportunities.
So we get when our closer going into the year was a former starting pitcher that has been bad for the last 7 years.
Yeah,
Former rookie of the year, fun facts.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll hurt.
Okay.
All right.
Back of the week, me. Is Ricky Fowler playing this weekend?
What tournament is this weekend?
It's is it John Deere?
It's a John Deere Classic.
John Deere, yeah.
I didn't see him in the
He's
featured
playing.
groups.
He's not?
I don't think he's playing this week.
Okay, I was about to say, because I want to put money on him.
Man is on a tear.
Top 10, top 15, top 20. He just won. Don't put money on him. You won't see him again.
Wow.
I hate to say it. I love the guy. Love the guy.
Saying he's
but...
going into another slump, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This win right here, I mean, it's great for the game of golf. When Ricky Fowler wins, it's great for everybody. Everybody loves Rick. I think this is gonna elevate him to go win a major. I mean, what's the next major? What do we got up next?
We just
Is it the Open? British Open? Because we've had the Masters, we've had PGA Champs, we've had the U.S. Open.
Yeah, the British Open.
It should be the British Open.
Yeah.
I'll look it up to confirm.
Is it where is it at? It's link style, right?
Yeah, that's over in Euro.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Open, July 20th, at Royal Liverpool.
Here's my lock. He will not be in the top 20.
Really? Here's my lock. He'll be in the top 10. Arguably top 5.
I'm gonna hammer Jake on that.
What does arguably mean? Because there are only 5 spots in between from 5 to 10.
Well,
you make a conscious argument that he could be top 5 based on past performance.
Mm-hmm.
Lawyered.
What?
Boom.
You look silly.
On that note, thank you everyone for listening to the Four Bears podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, share with a friend. Let's get this to 2 likes, baby. 2 likes. Hammer the like button.
We're aiming high.
Hammer it. Hammer it.
Good night, gentlemen.
We'll see ya.
Good night.
See ya.